In 1896, a German doctor had immigrated to Milwaukee and had set up a practice. He must have been up here on vacation and decided he wanted to move his family here, loved it. I think he probably thought that he wouldn't be able to support himself solely as a physician, so he decided to go into the resort business. And they built this building that we're in right now, the White Gull Inn, and he named it after his wife, Henrietta. And over the years, of course, Fish Creek was growing as a summer resort. It was a place people came out of the cities. Door County was the air-conditioned peninsula. In the 1940s, it was owned by James Longemak, and he ran it as the Sunset Beach Lodge. And then he sold it to Frank Ranney, who ran it as the Lakewood Lodge and Shore Cottages in the 1950s. And it wasn't until 1959 when a young artist from Madison, Andy Redman, and his wife Elsie came to Fish Creek and purchased the Lakewood Lodge. And they had this vision of turning it into kind of a New England style inn. And they named it the White Gull Inn. Andy started the fish boils. They brought in more antiques. They put up the wallpaper. They really gave it the feel. In May of '72, I went to the post office and there was a telegram from one of my friends, and a group of guys were getting together and trying to buy the White Gull, and they wanted another partner. And I said, yep.
I arrived here in June of 1972 and peered through the windows of the White Gull and thought, I need to work here. This is so totally cool. Andy, he hired me as a housekeeper, and he and I quickly became friends.
Well, the first years were amazing. I had worked as a bartender and done other sort of resort work, never anything like management. I just learned on the job. Some of the things we made mistakes and we quickly had to learn. We were very fortunate that the White Gull, the only food that was being served here was the fish boil. And that was what really was established when we came, even though the rest of the property needed a lot of work and a lot of rehab. The fish boil was famous and continues to be today. And we had a wonderful gentleman who was our fish boiler. Russ Ostrand was his name. He knew how to do the fish boil. He was the draw. He played the accordion while he boiled the fish. He really taught us how to do a fish boil, and we just learned from there.
We evolved. The inn was becoming more and more popular. We had many more guests staying here, and I think it occurred to us that maybe it would be great fun to have a more sophisticated restaurant that would serve evening meals off a menu, and having just a more elegant setting.
But I don't think we could have done it if we hadn't been lucky enough to be surrounded by a staff that not only is dedicated to the White Gull as we are, but they've stayed here. We have two managers that have been with us for well over 20 years. We have our day chef, Julie Zach, has been here, and two of our bakers since the early 1980s. Dean, our evening chef, has been here for over 20 years.
This time of year, we have our menu meetings to discuss how we want to change things, maybe try to work some more local products into the menu items.
We get our local whitefish from J&M Fisheries from Gills Rock. We get our local cherries from Sequist Orchards up in Sister Bay. I get my smoked whitefish from Charlie Smokehouse up in Gills Rock.
The breakfast is another wonderful story of the White Gull. One of my cooks came to me and said, try this, and I tried it, and it was a pineapple stuffed French toast, and it was very good. And I said, have you tried this with cherries? We all loved it. We put it on the menu, and it was really an instant success. In 2010, we got the surprise of our life when Good Morning America informed us that one of our guests had entered us in their contest for the America's Favorite Breakfast, and we were a finalist. They came out to see us. They interviewed Julie, our day chef. Somehow, the White Gull Inn got the most number of votes, and we ended up being the best breakfast in America.
The thing that the White Gull Inn, I think, has done really well, and Andy and Jan have, while they've kept the historic nature of the inn, they've made sure that it's up to the standards of travelers today. and they have a lot of the amenities that current travelers are expecting when they travel, but they've done it in a way that it preserves the historic nature here of the White Gull Inn. And
we have to not change what people have come to expect from us, but we also have to be aware of changes and trends. And so it's a pretty stimulating and challenging business. Just meeting the people here makes it fun to come to work every day. And I should say this, people who come to Door County, and in particular I think the White Gull Inn, they're primed to have a good time. We never feel like there's any hardship in coming to work or dealing with customers. It's a delight to go to a place where people come in the door in pretty good spirits. They're on vacation. When you start chatting with people, it's always a pleasant experience.